I want to bring up here someone who's spent 27 years in the Central Intelligence Agency, who knows how intelligence works in this town and doesn't, who used to deliver presidential daily briefs, who understands better than anyone else, not just that we went in to a country looking for weapons of mass destruction that turned out not to be there, but that we went in because we knew they weren't there, and the president knowingly lied us into a war that's cost over 1 million lives. He's been a leader of the peace movement and of veteran intelligence professionals for sanity, VIPS. Please welcome Ray McGovern.
Those of you who have some gray hair out there, and I see there are several, will remember the famous question, what did he know and when did he know it? The answer is out there. It's just not picked up by the major media. The president knew for sure that there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq on the 18th of September 2002. 6 months and 1 day before he launched what Nuremberg called a war of aggression. How do I know that? I know that because George Tenet briefed the president on the 18th of September on the basis of the premier quintessential spy. Now, my former colleagues in the CIA were rather down in the mouth to admit before the war that they had no real human sources in Iraq. Now, to their great credit, they worked their butts off to get one, and guess what? They recruited one, and you all know who he was, right? Who was he? No, it was the Iraqi foreign minister, guys. They looked, no, his name was Naji Sabri. They looked in their little bag of tricks, pulled out every one in the book and then some, spread all kinds of money around, called in all kinds of chips from liaison services, and turned, technical term, all right, turned the Iraqi foreign minister, whom Saddam Hussein thought was still working for him, but was really working for us. This happened in the spring of 2002. All the information Naji Sabri provided to us, checked out. He was thoroughly evaluated, as you could imagine he would be. George Tenet, proud as could be of this major accomplishment, a major spy inside, went down to the White House and told the president, Naji Sabri wasted the first 5 minutes bragging about how they recruited him, and then said, oh, by the way, Mr. President, Naji Sabri said there aren't any weapons of mass destruction. Now, I don't know what he expected in terms of reaction from the president, but my colleagues were shocked. The president said, well, that's very well, you may go now. Later they were told, we don't want to hear any more from this source, because it's not about weapons of mass destruction, it's about regime change. Okay? Colin Powell was not told about this. No one else was told about this. George Tenet buried it, and to this day, it's buried in the press. But guess what, folks? If you watch 60 Minutes, in April 2 years ago, it was there, and then suppressed in the press. If you read Salon.com, in September of 2002, an article by Sidney Blumenthal, it's chapter and verse. 2 former CIA officials talking about things they knew about because they were right in the thick of this. So, the bottom line for me is we know what the president knew. He knew there were no weapons of mass destruction as of, at the latest, September 18, 2002, 6 months before the war. So we knew what he knew, we know what he knew, and we know when he knew it. It's not an impeachable offense to distort intelligence, to ignore intelligence, to tell the chief of your intelligence agency, we don't want to hear any more of this, and then to instruct him to falsify that report because that's what happened to that report. It was altered to indicate that Najee Sabri said there were weapons of mass destruction. That's all provable. You can get Najee Sabri, he lives in Qatar now, get him back, get him to testify, get George Tenet to testify. I don't know what's wrong with our Congress, where they don't pursue these things. Now 60 Minutes is on sort of late, so maybe John Conyers didn't catch it. and that was before Cindy and I met with, and Reverend Ewart met with John Conyers. But the Sullivan article was after that, and actually it's cited in Dennis Kucinich's article of impeachment now. So there's no excuse for avoiding this. Major media, please pay some attention to alternative media. If you can call 60 Minutes or Salon.com alternative media, because if you don't get it, you don't get it. Thanks.